Good morning. Good morning. Cornelia, good morning. Ebony, good morning. Angel, good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, folks. What's going on? I see Cornelia there. Hey, how are you? See Ebony there. I'm starting to see some of the same faces coming through. That's cool. Hopefully that means, or obviously that means, I'm saying something right. Obviously means that I'm connecting with certain people. And the thing about it is that I don't care to connect with everyone. I care to put out truth, love, light, understanding what my mission is, what my purpose is, and I want other people to be able to understand what their mission and what their purpose is. Bella, I see you over there. Good morning. Javon, is that what say Javon? Good morning. Everyone, I just want to welcome you in this morning. As each day goes by, I just get more inspiration. I get more confirmation. I really, really love the opportunity to be able to interact with people. I've been doing seminars for quite a long time now, and I retired from the business. And I was able to take 2 years off and just travel and do things that I want to do, have fun. At the end of the day, it's about family to me. And some of us have been in a position where family hasn't been family. You know what I mean? So what I've learned to do instead of being angry is I've learned to just go out and create families that I grow to love and appreciate. And I can share my gifts with them, and they can share their gifts with me. Just because someone is in your bloodline doesn't mean that they're family. We can create whatever it is that we want to create because we really, truly are creators. So this day here, I actually jotted down some notes because I woke up like 3 o'clock this morning. So I've been up and I've just been on fire. And whenever I get to that point where I'm waking up and I'm feeling like this fresh download of information, I know that it's the universe guiding me, directing me, and leading me. Well, how do I know that? I know that because I don't believe in anything else. And you got to understand that our world, internal and external, is based solely off of our belief system. Solely. So the way that you see God is different than the way I see God or the next person sees God. Doesn't mean that God is different. It just means that the way you look at things are different. And the way that you see God, good morning, Kevin. Good morning, brother. Oh my God, I see Kevin just pop up in there. Everybody, Kevin Wesley's in the house. Come in. We're going to be doing some real estate deals down there in North Carolina and getting some things going off. But with that being said, I just want to let you know that the world as we see it, I see the world as a kaleidoscope. And just depending on which way you turn that, remember the kaleidoscopes when we was kids? We used to take it had the little like flowery things, they were red or whatever. And you used to get in and turn it, and it would create distorted images. And whatever you thought, so that means whatever was going on inside of you is basically what you saw. So you have to understand, or at least I have. Here's the thing. Let me just preface it by saying this. You guys, I did the video this morning going to the gym. I only ran a mile. I didn't even work out. I ran a mile because I had already set up a time to be able to do this live. And I'd rather die than not do what I say. I'm just to that point in my life. So, like I said, I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, and I just had a lot of thoughts coming out because I meditate. I'm a heavy, heavy meditator, and to me, that's been something that's transformed my life. That's what's taken me from dead broke, losing everything, losing all my houses back in 2008. I lost everything, and I had to rediscover myself. I had to tap into the inner being in me, to the strength in me, because I'm going to tell you this. When I had the religious mentality of just woe is me, I'm a victim, it's just a wretch like me, I'm separated from the will of God. When I was thinking all that nonsense, nothing was materializing in my life. I was miserable, broke, saddened, not trusting people. And I never put it together at that time that it was because of my belief system. Ebony, you're right. It's all about perception. All about perception. So when you're listening to different leaders who have the guts, the kahunas, to get up and share their vision, just know that it's based off of their perception, what they see, what they hear. And no one else can tell me that my experiences are not real. And what I'm doing is I'm going to share my experiences. So there's no debate about it. I won't debate people on what my experiences are. What I can do is tell you that I was dead broke. I grew up in the projects. My mother was a teenage mother who abused me. She abused me in the name of Jesus. So I'm getting beat. And when I say beat, I grew up in the 80s, right? We was getting beatings with extension cords, all clothes off. And I was getting beat in the name of Jesus. So what I used to have to do was I used to have to open up the book, right? Tell you exactly. I'm going to go right to the book to Psalms. And I would have to memorize this. My mother, she said she was a Christian. And I'm not trying to knock my mother because there's always, no matter what you're doing, there's always someone who's going to see the negative in anything you say. So those type of people, you got to understand this and remember this, family. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if you look for the bad in what I say, if you look for the bad in the day, if you look for the bad in anything and something, I know that 99.9% of the time, 100% of the time, you're looking for the bad in everything. So that's not a reflection of me. It's a clear reflection of who you are. So this is why I'm not going to get into debates with anyone. I know who I am. And at the end of the day, my life shows it. And what I want you to do, see, I don't want to be the same as everybody else. I'm uniquely made. I'm divine, just like you are. And all I want to do through my life experience is to share the things that have worked in my life. Share the things because I'm a black man who comes from the projects, and I've come from that. I've seen a lot of different things. My grandma, I grew up in church, right? My mother was a pastor, not me, my mother. And I watched these things going on, and I watched the deception, and I watched the lies, and the voice inside of me that carried me from a 5-year-old going through abuse stages, going through boys' homes, going to all these places. It always told me that's not who I am. So once again, like I said yesterday, who am I to believe? Well, I don't know who the voice is because I don't really recognize it, because I'm being taught to believe that it's outside of me. I'm being taught to believe that if that's God, that it's outside of me. So I'm thinking that automatically it's some devil, because that's all my mother says. Just real talk. So I tell you this to say, like, we all have our interpretation. I used to have to read these whole, she would say, read Psalms, 23. I had to one of the early things I had to do was memorize 23rd Psalms. And if I couldn't memorize it in one take, I got beat. Now I'm getting beat in the name of Jesus. So now I'm saying, well, this is who God is? That, like, what? I don't want that. We don't have money, but at least we have Jesus. I don't want that. The voice was telling me that you can have it all. When I would sit up in church, when they were telling me that I was born in sin and iniquity, the voice was telling me, that's not who I am. When it was telling me that I was doomed for hell, the voice was telling me, I would never send you to hell because I'm all-encompassing love. I'm 100% love. I'm 1,000,000% love. And my question to you is, why or how would love destroy itself? And the answer was, it's impossible. It's impossible to love destroy itself. I need you to realize that you're royalty. I need you to realize that you are royalty and not a servant. You cannot manifest the full power of me inside of you being a servant. You have to understand that you are at the table with royalty. You have to really understand, if you're following this, if this is what you're following, it says that you're heirs and joint heirs with Christ. Well, that's a contradiction. And this is what the voice was saying. And I'd be like, well, Mom, how can I thought we're royalty. I thought we're co-creators. I thought we're the lender and not the borrower. Shut up. Bam. Many mysteries in God. Huh? Didn't make sense. Didn't add up. So, with that being said, when I revert to this is what I knew for years of, over 30 years of my life. And I'm not going to say that there aren't things in here that can encourage you, but I want you to know that this book was written not for you, but to control you. And it was given to your slave master, who gave it to you. And do you really believe the slave master was doing that for your benefit? Something for you to think about. So, just a little briefing on what my relationship is, and I have my own perception. I have my own views. I'm not trying to push my views off on anyone because they're my views. But what I can tell you is, this is what's happened to my life at this point of time. This is the situation that was given to me, and this is how I reacted to it. This is what I did about it. This is the results now. And if those things, and I ask you, let's forget about religion. Let's forget about all that stuff. Let's talk about love. And let's talk about the message that I like to put out, if it resonates with you. Because if it resonates with you, I want you to just ask yourself a question. The way that you've been doing things, have they given you the desired results in your life? Because for me, Christianity wasn't working. I was surrounded by the same people that I was surrounded by in the streets, it seemed like to me. I was a drug dealer. There was more loyalty in the streets than I found in the church. I expected the street dudes to do what they did. Set me up. call a popo. I expected that. That's the streets. That's the laws of the street. When I came back to the church, wasn't expecting that. And I know people are people, and there's always an excuse for everything, but I can only speak from my experiences. I'm not here to please everybody. I'm here to use my life as a testimony of a young kid. Mother had him at 16. She dropped out of school, on welfare, food stamps, living in projects with bars on our windows, 2 pair of jeans, 3 shirts, pair of hand-me-down sneakers. How I went from that to being to a place where I almost killed myself 3 times, right? And then looking at the things in life that God has allowed to happen to me, to wake me up and to be a wake-up call. Surviving people putting guns to my chest in the street, pulling the trigger and it just going click. Surviving stick-up kids, sticking 9mm to my head, shooting the dude next to me in the leg. Being on the driving on the highway with my 2-year-old son in the wintertime in Connecticut, and the car just spinning out. Me seeing my life flashing before me, me only thinking about my 2-year-old son in the back. And seeing like I'm going on 95 north, spinning around and ending up facing 95 south and looking at all of the cars coming at me, 60 miles an hour. I can see them I can see them crashing on their brakes. I can see the cars spinning, trying to stop from hitting me. And I can see the car stop right there. So when you ask me, do I believe in God? Absolutely. When you say that I'm a devil, hell no.